Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. We're back. We finally have Stelle today, who will come out as soon as she's done updating. And by she's done updating, I mean the game's done updating, because the game's going to take like 6 hours to patch. But we have patch notes, which is super, super exciting. I'm really glad to finally have Stelle. I'm really glad to play a new season. This is my very honest first look at the patch notes. I haven't even read them yet, but I wanted to keep you guys up to date, wanted to run through them. Let's check them out. So, if you guys didn't know, they changed the monetization. They're going to a premium model. What that means is that instead of a subscription-based model, you basically just buy the game up front, and then DLC going forward will be $20. So, the game will cost $40, and you will get Vanessa Pig and Dooley. Additionally, if you had a Tempo account that played past the tutorial as of 8.8, you will also get Mac. So that's cool. So basically, if you switch to Steam, or even I think if you play on the Tempo account, you get basically every hero except Stelle, which is pretty cool. But yeah, future heroes will cost $20, so Stelle will cost $20. Another big thing, yeah, Bazaar is available on Steam. And in order to play the game on Steam, you need to buy it on Steam. However, if you were going to buy Stelle anyways, who will be $20, there's a bundle where you can basically convert your whole account to Steam for $20 and get Stelle for the first 3 days, so until the 16th. Really, it's 4 days, as you know, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th. But if you want it on Steam, this is your good pivot time. So I'm going to do that because I just prefer to have mine on Steam. And yes, everything transfers over. Ranked mode. So if you guys didn't know, they're taking away ranked tickets. You can play ranked as much as you'd like, and then ranked tickets are going to be converted to gems. Going forward too, gems will basically only be used to buy skins. And I believe the only way to spend real life money in this game, could be wrong, is going to be buying new heroes, buying the game, or if you do want cosmetics, I'm sure that you can still buy gems for money. Or just like, I'm pretty sure on the weekly skins, sometimes it'll say, pay $20 for the skin. Stuff like that. Rank progress will continue to reset each month. So pretty normal stuff. Normal mode also awards chest. So what's cool about this is that now it's like anybody wanting to play ranked, you know, is probably a more sweaty audience. So hopefully you can play normal, still get rewards, and not go against crazy people. See changes to matchmaking. So during a player's first normal games, introducing increasingly difficult ghosts over time. So if you're playing the game for the first time, you're going in the normal mode, hopefully you shouldn't get slapped by crazy ghosts as soon. Because again, theoretically, and I'm not trying to brag here, I hit top 300 last season. If I wanted to play normal mode, I could queue, and somebody who it's literally their brand new, like first game, first time account, will fight against me and just get wrecked, right? That's just not fair. Like, you know, why am I playing against a really good player if I'm brand new? That doesn't make sense. So hopefully it's an easier place to learn the game, because we want to encourage new players to get into the game, because that's how the game grows. And that's how we keep getting to play our game that we love. So yes, we want new players. And my opinion is that ranked should be matchmaking like it is. Normal mode should be MMR based, in terms of like the ghost you fight. Chest and store changes. Moving forward, both chest and gems will only provide cosmetic upgrades, and neither will provide any gameplay advantages. Cool. So what that means is, actually, what does that mean? Was it tickets? Is that what they mean by gameplay advantages? I'm not really sure what that means. It makes me think tickets. They doubled chest rewards at the end of the runs, just so you guys know, and they might say it below. Oh, maybe this. Chests no longer give gems, but have rare chances to drop large amounts of gems. Interesting. Okay, so now I assume that the only way to get gems is by buying them, or if you have duplicate skins, like duplicate item drops, whatever, you'll get a bunch of gems from that. So maybe they're trying to get you to like pay for gems to buy skins, which isn't like unreasonable to me. Chest rarity drop rates higher, rarities have been increased, cool. Duplicate cosmetics will no longer be possible. Instead, you will obtain gems equal to their cost in the store for that rarity tier. So, now, I assume you just can't roll a duplicate, and if you do, you just get gems instead. So that's cool. It also, let's see, replacing our rotating seasonal chest with a chest that has potential to provide almost all cosmetics. That's really cool. So if you ever missed out on some of the beta skins and stuff like that, you can get them now with a seasonal chest. For me, that's cool because, yeah, there's kind of a lot of legendaries I don't have, and I wouldn't mind filling out my collection. Or just like, I really, really like all the different enchanted item arts and stuff like that, and there's a couple I didn't have because Atlas Stone was diamond and stuff like that, so now I might have the chance to do it. Store will no longer have limited time content, so no weekly skins, and instead they're offering daily rotational offers from the chests themselves. We'll have to see what that means, but I wonder if that just means like if you really want a skin, you can just buy it instead of rolling it from a chest. I'm not sure. And it could also mean too that like their art team is really, really busy, so they don't have time to like throw a bunch of money at creating new skins, or maybe they don't have the money to pay art team for like developing skins right now. I'm not really sure. Prize Pass is now completely free, will no longer offer tier skips. Interesting. Cosmetic content in the current Prize Pass will be added to the chest once the Prize Pass rotates out. Okay. Only reset with major releases approximately every few months. We will no longer sell or renew subscriptions. Existing subscriptions will continue until they expire, earning double XP and up to 12 chests per run until they expire. So, yeah, your subscription renewed on like the 7th or 8th of the month if you had it. So, they're still going to honor that this month, but basically they already are where is it? They're already doubling gems or chests by default, right? So they're already raising it from 123 to 246, and they're still honoring your prize pass to double it again. So right now, if I get a 10 win, I would get 12 chests, which is pretty interesting. And they're also canceling the marketplace. That was a big thing they were talking about for the game, and they were also talking about, you know, previously if you would open an item, you would have like edition 1 or edition 2. They're taking rid of that, They're getting rid of that. So now there's, you know, not duplicates, or you can't get like the first version of something and have it be special anymore, which was a cool feature, but I just don't think this is in their scope right now. Maybe they think about it later, but right now there's too much going on. Removing hero expansions from the prize pass. If you have a hero unlocked, you will have access to the same pool of items as everyone else who unlocked that hero, and they're going to keep creating items. So basically what that means is, so previously when an expansion came out, you had to unlock it in the prize pass. You would get it pretty early, but people would have items ahead of you. Now, day 1, everybody unlocks the item. So, for example, Mac and Dooley are getting 10 new items in this expansion. Everybody has access to them day 1, assuming you have those heroes. Following items are available to all players immediately. Propeller hat. What is this? At the start of each fight, your cores start flying. When you use a flying item, hasten item 1, 2, 3 seconds. Interesting. Cooldown 8. Are these? Oh, okay. I'm not going to read through these. These are the new Dooley expansion items. So feel free to look through these, or, you know, check them out in game, or look at them on, there's like an Excel sheet in like the Discord, maybe on Reddit. But you can look these up, and there's 10 of them, I believe. So new core as well, which is pretty interesting. Mac as well is getting a bunch of reagent stuff. So like now you have, where are you? Cloud Wisp. This is like, you know, when this is transformed, enchanted with turbo, stuff like that. So there's new stuff. New merchant, so Arrow is a Stelle only merchant, sells vehicles. Pinfeather sells flying items. Excavation, new encounter. Get a relic from any hero. That's pretty interesting. Ooh, that seems cool. See, reagent harvesting, new Mac encounter, get a reagent. Truffle farming, get a truffle. Dinosaur trapping, that's kind of a fun event. Get a dino. I don't know if the other ones like really impress me a whole lot, but dino trapping is really interesting. Because if you're like running dinos, maybe that helps with the consistency. That's a pretty small pool of items. Like obviously a truffle, you're always getting a truffle. A relic could be anything. Reagents, you know, that could be pretty hit or miss. Dino is almost always guaranteed to hit something you want, I feel like, if you're playing dinos. Yeah, family reunion. So Stelle's getting her own event. It's basically like the Vanessa Bounty Hunters event. So it's just another excuse to get like free XP, basically. It's a diamond event where her sister shows up and she's like, hey buddy, you gotta come home. And then you fight her and you're like, sorry, I'm not coming home. Oh my god, a shit ton of monsters. So I knew about Officer, Admiral, Tortuga, Test Subject, and Rexpex, but they're adding a bunch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 new monsters. Well, this is really cool too, because I think ideally I want them to just keep adding a billion monsters into the game, right? I want them to keep adding more and more and more. So it's like every run, it shouldn't feel like you're seeing the same monsters every time. It should be really, really diverse. I really like that. If it's like a clock-based enemy, I'm really excited for this. But this is cool. This is like all the monster fights, like Tortuga. I can't say for Dualtron because this one hasn't been announced. This one could be broken on Dually though. Dualtron's a broken item. So like Tortuga, for example, it had a board with a gold, like all gold board, and it had Tortuga in it as well as like a bunch of random friends and stuff. So you can get gold Tortuga as a drop. So Dualtron, I'll probably go to this one a lot because I really rate the Dualtron item. So maybe it drops a Dualtron and a bunch of like other friends and stuff. Awakened Primordial as well. Very interesting that some of like the big bad large items in the game are now actual fights. See, starter run changes. Day 1, hour 1 is now normal hour, no longer offering special choices. So what that means is that there's no more starting bonuses. So there's no enchanted item, there's no gold start. It's literally you just start the game. But I believe what they're doing is they're adding an extra node. So previously what you do is you take your start of item choice, enchanted item, gold item, whatever, and then have one node and then take the monster fight. Now you'll have 2 nodes before the monster fight. Freeze and slow reduction. Items can now gain attributes that reduce the duration of applied effects. Items with full reduction would reduce the duration to 0, but can still be targeted by such effects. Reduced even to 0, freeze or slow effects still count as triggers for when you freeze and when you slow. Interesting. That's really interesting. So basically what that means, right, is I don't know about like full reduction. Maybe that's radiant, but basically what it means, right? So let's say you have a katana, right? You're playing one weapon Vanessa. Your only item that does anything is this katana, and it has radiant. Previously, if your opponent had anything that froze or slowed it, it couldn't hit the katana at all, right? So now what it's saying is something is frozen or slow, like it can hit the katana that's radiant, but it won't do anything to the katana. But let's say you have, you know, a lighthouse and a bunch of slow effects. All your slow effects hitting the katana will charge the lighthouse, but it won't actually slow the katana. Does that make sense? So like your slow procs work on radiant items, and your radiant items no longer make slows and freezes hit every other item on your board. So it makes radiant a lot better enchantment basically, where it's a lot less niche. So like you can throw radiant on something and not be mad about it, because then it just means, okay, now this item can't be slowed or frozen, and in fact, it's really good if that item takes the slow or freeze for you. Destroy immunity. Items can now be immune to destroy effects. Such items can still be targeted by destroy effects. When you destroy, does not trigger if the destroyed effect is prevented by destroy immunity. Again, that's a huge buff to Radiant. Really interesting. Radiant and some other similar effects are being updated to use, okay. Desperate Cleanse and Icebreaker will continue to function as before, moving based on trigger item use. Interesting, yeah. So yeah, now you have flying. So flying's a new mechanic, and basically an item is either flying or not flying, and when an item is flying, it reduces slow and freezes applied by half. So for example, if you have an item that's not flying, it gets frozen for a second and then immediately starts flying. That will not be reduced by half. But if you have an item that is flying, is frozen for a second, it'll only get frozen for half a second. Does that make sense? So that's really interesting. Enchantments. Let's see. Oh, scaling enchantments that convert output types. Poison the damage have been reduced. Many other enchantments changed. That's huge. Because previously it would be like, if you had a poison enchant, so let's say you had Poppy Field and you got an Obsidian Poppy Field, it would do 10 times. It will do 10 times poison, 10 times burn in the form of damage. That's awesome, because that was a very strong enchant. I don't mind that being reduced at all. Let's see, updated burn so it ticks before regen when they would both occur on the same frame. Yeah, I don't know if that's like a bug thing. I feel like I would have to see what this looks like in game to see if anything changes. Let's see, Haunted Kimono. Haunting Flight new skill. First time you use an item each fight. 1, 2, 3 items start flying. That's interesting. Also, it's definitely a kimono nerf for Pig, because you would go to Haunted Kimono and basically try to hit, you know, the silk literally every time. So, nice. We love that. C4? What is C4? Is that, what is C4? No longer spawns for Mac. Is there like a, how Bazaar? Dude, what is C4? Is that like a C for the Bazaar? Oh! I guess it's a, oh, this is the ammo guy. Okay. Interesting. That doesn't seem unreasonable. So, C4 gives you ammo skills, so at level 8 or level 11, when you can get like specific skill merchants or whatever, you no longer get C4, which I think is good. Sometimes it was nice to be able to get like ammo on your potions, but a lot of times it was a very skippable merchant. Hospital corrected an issue where the rate of regen items dropping was much lower than intended. I think that's the one that's like you get a free healing or regen item, so interesting. Mandala no longer spawns on days 2 and 3. I like that as well. As Mandala, seeing it really early is kind of like a meaningless thing. Like you'd rather see like a random event. Herculean Rocket Trooper gains the gunner skill, which means he'll be a little bit harder. Basically, he just gained an extra ammo on all his stuff. Let's see, Vanessa items. Alright, here's the changes. Ambergris, cooldown to 4 is pretty interesting. That could be a really good like early game healing item. Arbalest. So Arbalest actually was low-key kind of fire early game. Like you could just run, especially if you got rigged, but you could run like Zorkid on board, Captain's Wheel, if you had Katana plus Shadowed Cloak, and you could just stick an Arbalest on the right, and literally it would just destroy somebody at 9 seconds. Like I actually had that today, where, to be fair, it was Obsidian and Gold, but I bought an Arbalest at the Weapons Merchant Gal, and it was literally like, I had Clamra and Rigged, and like, just start of combat haste, dive weights, and I was just killing people at 7 seconds when my Arbalest hit, you know, for 2600. It's very strong. Astrolabe, go down to 6. Haste 1, 2, 3 items for 1 second. From haste a non-weapon. That's really interesting. So is it still like when you use a non-weapon charge this? This is a really interesting item. Like it's definitely a lot better in your haste builds now. I assume it is, but that's really good. I mean, hasting 3 items for 1 second, it's also very positively affected by things like rocket boots or haste enchants. Really good. Ballista buff? Yeah, it was like nigh impossible to get Ballista to go off at 11 seconds. So 9 seconds, it might be doable. Still hard. I guess we'll have to see what the other changes are, but that's interesting. Good to see a buff there. Beach ball thing. Blunderbuss, let's see. Starts at diamond. Damage to 30, ammo to 3. When you burn, use this. From when you burn, charge 3 seconds. That's really interesting. Yeah, I don't know how to rate that, because like that's not a lot of damage. So it's basically, if you're running Blunderbuss, right? If you find a way to get the ammo off, like, or ammo up super high, and the damage, you can just have like a bunch of burn procs go crazy and just delete somebody with this. But starting at diamond is kind of interesting and weird to me. Okay. Bolas, so that's, okay. They're kind of changing the functionality of Bolas a little bit. So previously Bolas was like a kind of slow, but like good high damage item early game. It's like 40 damage at bronze is a lot, like on your, you know, early fights. So they're slowing it, or they're speeding it up, but they're lowering the damage a little bit. So that'll be interesting. So that makes it a lot better for like slow procs, as well as like trying to get off multiple times in a fight. Cannonball nerf, that seems pretty reasonable because Shuriken's insane. So they're just reducing the ammo by 1 at all tiers. That's pretty reasonable. Cannonade, starts at gold tier, multi 3, cooldown to 14. Damage, okay. So this is interesting, right? So it has double the cooldown, but basically, well, so what? So previously at gold it would do 200, now it does 450. Previously it so it's basically like double the cooldown, but double the damage per proc, if that makes sense. I also like that it's multicast 3 because there's 3 cannons in the art. That makes sense to me. But yeah, I think this is the way to go about it for sure. So captain's quarters, haste your vehicles and tools, 1, 2, 3 seconds from haste 1. Okay, reload your ammo items. Wow. Okay, captain's quarters. That's a huge buff. This item is actually really, really good now. Really good because previously you used to only hit 1 of each, right? And captain's quarters wasn't bad. This part is insane. Like this is like shark claws plus haste your board plus, oh my god, or like Potentially running this, maybe, with like Trebi could be really good. This part of it is insane, though. Very strong. That's why you run Figurehead, basically. And Captain's Quarters is on a 4-second cooldown. I think Captain's Quarters will be quite good in the early game. See, Captain's Wheel. Okay, so they're making it halved again. That means if you reduce its cooldown with like any cooldown buff, it'll be better for it, I think. I don't know, we'll have to see how that plays up. Card table, so it's better at Diamond, but worse up front. Okay. Increases item's cooldown by 1 second for each non-friend you have for the fight. Oh, interesting. Wait, I didn't even realize it had this passive, by the way. Interesting. So now they want you to run this on a board with a bunch of friends, as opposed to running it on a board, with like Julian or whatever. Oh, okay. It's saying that when it goes off, increase this item's cooldown by 1 second for each non-friend you have. So you can still run it on like Julian or something, but it's only ever hitting once. See, Coral Armor gets double scaling, might be pretty good. This item could sometimes be pretty good early game for sure. Chum to 4, reasonable. Custom Scope, true. Crow's Nose Silver, okay. Diving Helmet only provides aquatic tags to items in combat. So what this meant before is that if you had like Diving Helmet on your board, and let's say you had like a katana next to it, you bought another katana in the shop, that would count as aquatic. So for things like coral armor, it would count as like buying an aquatic item. I'm sure there's some other like niche interactions with that too, but that's just an example. Eels at gold, that seems reasonable to me. It's pretty build defining. Cooldown to 7-6 from 9. Okay. Slow to 1 second. Okay, interesting. So eels is going to be, I think, maybe more viable, but harder to find if it's gold tier. See, Grape Shot. Okay, so Grape Shot, lower tier, 1 ammo. This will be like a pretty decent early ammo item. We'll have to see how that feels, but I don't know. I haven't really been rating ammo items early on Vanessa lately. Harpoon might be playable now. Silver tier, but the cooldown is super reduced. Incendiary rounds, they're taking away the ammo, which is a big functionality of it, but it's still quite good in some situations with the passive it already has. Javelin, when this gains haste, reload this. That seems a little more like lore accurate to me. It's definitely a little bit of a nerf, but I don't think it's that big a deal. Lighters back to 3 seconds. They love oscillating between these numbers. Lighthouse redesign, cooldown to 6 seconds. Slow an item when you slow burn. Oh wow. That's really good. That's really good. Because now it's like the proboscis of burn. That's so good. Okay, it's by the way, it's also only gold tier and above. That's a really good item. Like, you don't even care about the cooldown. You care about the fact that literally anytime you slow, you burn. Especially this with scaling or like shielded. Oh my god, that looks good. See, lowering the mantis shrimp scaling, that makes sense. It could sometimes feel like a lot early. Musket, lower the cooldown. Burn if an adjacent item relearn this. Okay. Interesting. And 0 crit. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, this thing used to hit really hard early. Okay. Pearl back. Pesky Pete. Legend. Starts at silver. That's good. He's like not really a late game item, but he's definitely okay. Like, you know, early-ish, I would say. So, this is not bad. Pop Snapper's back to 3. Port starts at gold, cooldown to 6, reloads 2-4 ammo. Okay. So maybe some port is back. Powder keg? Is it back, dude? Oh my god, powder keg's back. No, wait. No, it's the same numbers. It's the same numbers. Never mind. For some reason, yeah, that was stupid. Yeah, it used to be 50%. Obviously, it's not the same. Still, though. Okay, so powder keg's gold, and it does 30 and 40. Interesting. It is nice not just to be, seeing it silver all the time, I guess. Ramrod, taking away the crit. Repeater, cooldown to 5. Lower the damage. Oh, okay. Is this just pistol sword now? Oh, it's like pistol sword, but instead of like whenever you use another ammo item, deal damage. This is whenever you use another ammo item, use this. So you kind of get more repeater procs if you're running ammo now. Lower damage, so you need to find a way to scale it, but definitely interesting. Revolver at 3 seconds is crazy. No longer has base crit chance. Okay. So now Revolver is a very good fast item, but it runs out of ammo. So that's interesting. Oh, is this rifle redesign? Okay, damage. Okay, the damage is way up on this. I mean, okay, this gains more damage for the fight from when you use this. Oh, wow. That's really good. So now rifle is like a one item shark claws where it's like 3 seconds. Oh, but it does have ammo, right? So it has one ammo, but if you can find a way to increase the ammo or reload it, you're gonna have like a lot of damage increase. That's really interesting. Rowboat to gold, 8 seconds. So, okay. So items cool. Ooh, wow. So rowboat is gonna be a really good kind of like haste charge kind of build accelerant thing late game. Because reduced by 5 seconds is crazy. So this thing's gonna be a 3 second charge items for 3 seconds or 2 seconds. That's quite good. I would already run rowboat sometimes. This is a lot better, but it's only a gold tier now. Sea dogs to gold, but the cooldowns are reverted. Interesting. Shovel is now more usable on board because the cooldown's at 5. Shoe blade, 100% crit chance for its first use each fight. That's really cool. I kind of like that. I kind of like the guaranteed crit um, idea. Shot glasses is 3 seconds. Whoa. Oh, okay. I was gonna say this is the most like broken item on Vanessa. Okay, 3 seconds, more ammo, but it's 3 items. I'm okay with that. I think it's still quite strong and still can be quite strong, but I think this is more fair because hitting every item was insane for creating haste and slow procs. Slumbering Primordial. Okay, bug fix. Nice. This will be a lot better maybe. It's Primordial could be really, really insane at diamonds, but gold, just like Dualtron, gold is always kind of like an awkward part for it. So reducing some cooldown is huge. Submersible. It looks like it's just a little bit better if you don't have a vehicle or large item. Switchblade 4 seconds. Interesting. Okay, the damage is a lot lower though. Okay, so basically Switchblade now is another just quick item. Still does the buffing thing, but at 9 seconds you don't get like that big hit you got before. Throwing knives, gold tier is interesting. Okay, different ammo. When you crit for another item, use the... Oh, wow. It's back. This is how it used to be. It has to be another item, but this is basically how it used to be. This thing was so broken. This thing was so broken. Hold on, let me check something real quick. Okay. Torpedo. Ammo to 2 from 1. Okay. Use another... Oh, wait. That's going to be good. The item is large. Double the damage gain. That's really interesting. So torpedoes just became insane. This is like new Arbalest. One problem with torpedo is a lot of times you felt like you needed 2 ammo, especially on like those mid days. 2 ammo is insane. The scaling, this is a lot of scaling. And if it's large, yeah, you just run this as like, you just run a bunch of weapon spam or ammo spam, run this at the top end, and you kill them at like 8 seconds. This is going to be super strong. Tortuga, gold tier, but the damage is higher. Already felt pretty strong at gold, but definitely less consistent if it's only gold tier. Trebby to gold tier. There's some people in my Discord who might be sad about that one. Damage is way higher, burns way higher, but it's basically they see Trebby as more of like a build carrying item. And I don't think I mentioned it. They're trying to increase the number of like build carry items, basically, if that makes sense. So basically it's like, sorry, am I? One sec. One second. Okay. Yeah. So basically, as a general thing, a lot of the large items in the game, they are making gold tier because they're like the carry items to be so it's like you kind of fight your way through the early game, try to figure out what you're playing, and then you hit a carry item, and then you're like, whoa, like now I can build around this. So that's what Trebby is now, right? That's what Tortuga is. That's what some of the other stuff is. Water Wheel gets buffed. Interesting. So haste builds. I really see a potential for haste build here. Weather Glass is back. 6-second cooldown is a lot more playable. 8 was degenerate. Alright, pig. Again, like I said, large items go into gold. Not surprising on 28-hour fitness. Abacus redesign. Adjacent items gain value equal to this item's value for the fight. Interesting. Could be a cool way to like apply value. Ladle nerf. Yeah, that seems really reasonable. Again, at the high end, nothing changes. But Ladle's a super broken item. And if they want it to be a little bit harder to scale it, I'm down. Beehive at gold tier. Did they need to nerf it, or they think it's build defining? That's interesting. I wonder what the thought process is there. Beast of Burden, again, I think they're trying to make it like a carry item. So it's like you play Beast of Burden and your damage is way higher. So that's really interesting. Booby Trap, change to freeze. Nice, that's better. So Booby Trap was pretty unplayable in freeze builds, but now it freezes more items as opposed to one item for longer. That's the better way to have like procs and stuff. Busy Bees nerf. Interesting. And a slight change. That's really interesting for sure. Share, I guess. Slight Caltrops buff. Cargo short starts at silver, 10-second cooldown. Oh wow. So interesting. So now it's more of like a bad blocker type effect where for each item type you have, this thing has multi. This could be insane. This with like pendulum that looks already insane to me. I'm sure there's other ways to break this. Definitely slow, but it could be one of those things like when it goes off, it's insane. Put this like next to a yo-yo, assuming it goes off. Crazy. Cash cannon. Oh, interesting. So now it starts early. The cooldown's a little higher early. The damage is 1. When you gain gold, this gains plus damage equals to the amount of gold gained. No longer increases with tiers. So now it's kind of like you can pick up Cash Cannon early, maybe, and kind of slowly scale it throughout the game, which kind of makes sense. Interesting. We'll have to see. I feel like it's hard to get stuff like this early. Like it's hard to get a bunch of gold early, but it is interesting. Close sign redesigned. When you heal off an item, charge adjacent properties. I'm not sure here, but interesting. It's definitely not 5 seconds, that'd be insane. Cold Room, that's like a build carrying item, is freeze, so starts at gold tier, cooldown change to 9 seconds. Okay, so it's a little faster. So they're kind of like bringing it back a little bit. It does freeze less. So I guess some nerfs, some buffs, but again, I think it's supposed to be a build carrying item. Dog redesign, cooldown, okay. Interesting. So, so dog is a quest item now. Deal 100 damage is the base effect. Sell 20 food, it goes to 300 damage. Sell 40 food as multi, and sell 60 food, it goes to nice, cool second. So, late game, it'll be, if you get it to diamond, it's a 4-second item with 300 damage and multi. That's pretty interesting. That could be kind of a house, actually. Definitely cool. Whammy, build defining, gold tier, golf clubs, let's see. When you heal, so they're taking away the regen thing, which I think is interesting, but sure. I guess base damage is a little higher. Definitely weaker, I think. Hogwash. So, again, I think they want it to be build defining, so it's gold tier, but the numbers are increased. Jabalian Drum. Super warranted. Gold tier. Oh, wow. They're taking away the damage buff increase, though. So your weapons no longer gain damage every time you use a weapon, which is crazy. But and they're reducing the haste. Wow, that's a huge nerf. Let's see, Jabalian Longbow. Silver tier, but the damage is higher. Well, no, it just starts at silver tier. I think it's good. This is a really insane item early. Kukri. Okay. Golf clubs treatment. Lemonade stand. Slight. So I guess they're reducing the scaling a little bit. I'm not sure if I understand that, but maybe maybe peg players were doing that. They were getting too much health from it. But they are nerfing it, for sure. Or they're buffing it by a second. Model ship also kind of build defining, so they're putting it gold tier. Sure, whatever on the thing. Money furnace buff. Don't know if it'll be strong, but definitely better. Money tree. That's going to be a lot stronger. So money tree might be back because it's a 1.5 times increase. Still really good. That's really, really good. Open sign. When you use a property, increase its value by 2-3 times this item's value for the fight. That could be insane, especially if you get like open sign to just have a crap ton of value. That could be really insane with something like Money Tree. Especially if you have like Money Tree going off over and over and over, it just scales by a shit ton. Picklestorm Gaming House, carry item. Pitchfork is giving the shovel treatment where it's a little more usable on your early boards. So that's cool. And you also get way more truffles. It's for each property you have, so that's cool. Regal Blade Design. It's another quest item, so it's like it looks like these scaling items are quest items. Buy 12 weapons, get damage. Buy 12 apparel. It says plus damage equal to 10% of your max health. Whoa! Buy 12 property. That's cool. So now Regal Blade is like... That could be insane. I think it's really, really good. Like, you could run this in Pawn Shop as something that just has high base damage and does, you know, the Lion's Cane effect and has value equal to your Pawn Shop. Really interesting for sure. Least surprising nerf I've ever seen. This was so crazy, or day one, even seeing it, never play testing it, I knew it was going to be insane at 100. Showcase is finally getting nerfed. Good, I hate this item. Signet Ring. Kind of surprised they're nerfing it, but maybe they just thought the values were too high, cutting the max health in half. Silk Scarf redesign, that's huge. So now it has cooldown. It's another quest item, cool. So basically, it's a quest item that gives you like 300 shield multi on a 3-second cooldown, which is pretty interesting. Skyscraper now gold tier, and it does damage equal to... Okay, cool. Cool. So, Skyscraper now is basically like... That looks good. That looks strong. Maybe not. Maybe not. But it's like a good one-shot like value output. That's cool. Snowmobile. Okay, didn't obey internal cooldown. Interesting. Yeah, this is kind of interesting to me for sure. Spice is now a food, makes sense. Sponsored apparel, redesign. When you use an item, increase its value by 246 for the fight and should equal to its value. Cool. I like the fact that it scales value in combat. Subscraper. Your other properties have value. Oh, wow. I think that's just old Subscraper is back. Dude, I love that. If I play Pig, I want to be playing like property builds or like value builds. This is what we're seeing. This is awesome. Textiles redesign, good. It definitely broke some items. When you heal with an item, charge adjacent non-healing items 1 second. Cool. Weights, when you overheal, charges 2 seconds. That makes sense. Weights needs to probably be a little bit better in the early game. Yo-yo at gold, thank God. Alpha Ray, when you use the core or another ray, your weapons gain. Okay, buffed it a little bit. Balloon bot cooldown a couple seconds. Atomic clock, back to silver tier. Ammo increased. And... Gotcha. So basically if you upgrade Atomic clock now, you're only increasing the ammo. But you can only ever nerf their enemy cooldown by 1 second. Balloon bot, small item starts flying when used. Yeah, a few new items, or a few old items, I guess, are also gaining flying tags. So balloon bot's one of them. That when balloon bot goes off, it gives a small item flying for the fight. Is barbed wire going to be playable? Bronze tier, 7 seconds. The damage is way up, and it slows. Oh, that makes sense. That's thematic. When you shield charge this, nice. That's not bad. It's definitely better. We'll have to see if that's playable or not, but I kind of like the idea of making an engine with this thing. With a bunch of shield and slow. See, Ballista starts at gold, 8 seconds. Increase the numbers. Yeah, so I think again they're trying to make this like a carry item. Beta Ray. Okay. So they just have more tiers. Maybe they're trying to enable the Ray build a little more. Bulldozer. Again, I think this is a carry item, so more scaling. But yeah, so again, it looks like kind of these carry items, they're making them harder to find, but they increase the numbers on them, so they do feel like a carry item. Spider, okay. Bomb Squad, cooldown nerf, that seems pretty reasonable. This thing's like unusable early game. Brick Buddy, nerf. I'm really glad for that, because Brick Buddy was insane, especially early. Still quite good early, but Capacitor starts at bronze, and the cooldown is less. This is the one that I believe charges adjacent. It's either items or tax. So Capacitor could be quite decent. I mean, 3-second charging adjacent items for a second is pretty okay. Charcoal, interesting little bronze item as well. Okay, we'll have to see if this is good or not. But this might be a good like early game day, you know, because like early days, like because this is a bronze item, you can have this day one. A day one scaling item, even if it's just a little bit, could be a lot. You get like 5, 6 friends day one. Claw rinse. Same thing here. Claw rinse might be nuts. Like day one, day two. Okay. Chem snail. Increasing the numbers. And now it's more like a cycling item. Whenever you slow, you charge this thing. Combat core. I think again they're probably trying to make this like a build around item. Increase starting damage and shield. And the scaling is way harder. Cool LEDs. I guess they're just reducing it a little bit. Cool. Cooling fan has been redesigned again. Gold tier, 3 seconds. Freeze adjacent items for... Ooh, that's really interesting. So now cooling fan will be really good with Nitro Hammer, or if there's anything that you want to do with Cell Freeze, or like any freeze effect, that's cool. Really good on things like, you know, Freeze Pig for sure, and then cleanse half your burn. Cool. Crit core cooldown buff. Cooldown issue, whatever. Crude Tools is being redesigned. This was probably the best dual item in the game. So now it starts at bronze. The cooldown... wait, this doesn't make sense. Is it? I think it's only silver now. So now it's only silver, and instead of reducing the tech item cooldown, it charges all your tech items. So that's cool. And it's reduced by 3 seconds if you have only one tech item. So basically, if you have only one tech item, you can reduce this thing to like 2 seconds, whatever, at diamond, and charge that tech item by 1, but it's not going to reduce cooldown. It was broken. Yep, cybersecurity. Looks like they're... Look at this damage. They're trying to make this a build-around item. Defense matrix. Okay, a lot faster. Haste adjacent items. Okay. Okay, cool. So they're just... Defense matrix is slowly becoming more usable. Now you probably just stick in the middle of two things to haste stuff. Not like the most haste amount ever, but definitely not bad, and, you know, increase the shielding numbers too. Don't know if we'll see you play, but it's one of those things. They're slowly increasing the numbers. Eventually it'll be good enough. See, dually scarf. This and adjacent items are immune to freeze. Oh, nice. So they're just straight up immune. Cool. This addresses the problem where freeze effects could be applied faster than it could be removed from this item. That's crazy. See, Dualtron. Okay, fixed. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, because sometimes you would like have rigged go off, you would haste your whole board, and Dualtron would just charge itself automatically by half. So now Dualtron will charge a fair bit slower, actually, which might be a pretty substantial nerf. See, duct tape, bronze tier, slows. Okay, so it's just duct tape, but it starts at bronze. Flamethrower. Yeah, they're trying to make this a carry item. Fiber optics, radiant, new. Your rightmost item is immune to freeze, slow, and destroy. That's cool. Also a huge nerf. Fiber optics is a very strong item, but now it's kind of like you can one-tech this item if you have one really valuable piece and just be like, psych, it's immune. Or maybe it's just the radiant enchant, what it does on it. We'll have to see. That's probably what it is. I bet they didn't change it, but they just made it so the radiant enchant exists and it's a lot better. Forklift. Yep, they're trying to make this a carry item. Damage totally increased here. Granola bar, redesigned. Food type, when you sell this, gain 10 max health. When you sell a tool or tech item, this gains... Oh, that's cool. So now this is like a... You like stack this thing. You stack granola bar. And then it gets a lot stronger. I like that. Wasp, okay. Eternal cooldown. Hacksaw. Slightly nerfed for some reason. I guess you can get it earlier now. Damage to 50. Transform an enemy medium item into small... Oh, interesting. That's cool. So if like you're going to square pig, you hit their crook or whatever. I think it's an interesting mechanic. So I like the idea that you're cutting an enemy medium item to small items. I'm sure there's going to be clips of people doing this and getting screwed by it, but definitely an interesting way to like kind of add disruption to your opponent's build. Hydraulic press. Carry item. Ice 9000. Charge to 6 on cooldown. Freeze. 1-2 items for 1 second. When you freeze, this gains more poison. I think they're trying to make it a carry item. Aegis, 1 second cooldown nerf, makes sense. Kinetic cannon, carry item. Laser pistol, yeah, makes sense. It's not that impressive, especially at 5 seconds. Damage increase seems fair. Lens at silver tier, okay. Memory card gives plus crit chance instead of damage. Yeah, it used to give plus damage, which, you know, only worked for a few of the cores. Now it works for every core. Monitor lizard, redesigned. So again, this is going to be another carry item, it looks like. 4-second cooldown. Haste is for 1 second. Well, this is hasted. Poison 510. So now what you're doing with Monitor Lizard is you're just trying to put a bunch of haste spam on it and then just poison them to death, so that's cool. Motherboard, we use a tech item, charge this 1 second. Interesting. A nitro hammer, carry item. Plasma grenade, starts at silver tier, thank god. I hate this thing, one of my least favorite items in the game to play against. Yeah, I mean, just, so when you freeze, this gains, oh, it doesn't charge anymore. So it's still a carry item, but it just doesn't charge anymore. That seems fair, actually. I'm sure there's other stuff I glossed over. I'm just a little bit too lazy to read like everything. Okay, interesting. Plasma rifle, gold tier, 7 seconds. Okay, another carry item. Let's see, increase the scaling. Cool. Power drill. Correct an issue where charges from different. Okay, cooldown thing. Power sand at a 5 makes sense. Pyrocarbon gets redesigned. Starts at silver. When you burn, shield. Okay, that's cool. So now that's a very good item. If you have a bunch of burn procs, ignition core, whatever, just throw a bunch of haste and shield around. Primal core. Change to Dino and relic weapons gain damage for the fight. So the scaling's definitely better a little bit later. Makes sense. Pulse rifle. Oh, interesting. That pulse rifle's gonna be insane, dude. So this thing like triple multicast. So at 3 seconds, it's gonna give you 3 procs. That's crazy. Pulse rifle's nuts. So instead of increasing damage, they're decreasing cooldown. That's crazy, dude. This item's gonna be so strong. Carl. 100 damage. Okay. So it's less of a... Okay, so instead of, like, when you upgrade it, it lowers the cooldown as opposed to increasing damage. Railgun is going to be a carry item. This is a really strong, though. 10 seconds, 500 damage. Remote control. Use all your cores. That's cool. So if you have multiple cores, you can use all of them. So, like, combat core plus your actual core. Rec specs. Okay. It's like current rec specs, basically. But now it's a carry item. Scrap metal. I don't know what this is. Quest. Sell 10 tool or tech items. When you sell this, reduce your leftmost item's cooldown. That's really good. When you sell this, upgrade your leftmost item of a lower tier. This looks really, really strong. So, okay. Was that the one that like upgraded your core? So you can still do that. That's cool though. I like the addition of more quest items. Solar farm. I guess supposed to be more of a carry item. It's a lot more regen. Soldering gun. Okay. Just shows a bit bronze. Anki, carry item. Navigator. Okay. Getting kind of that captain's rule treatment. V-core, damage increase. Love that. Thrusters. So I believe it still has its old effect of like giving cooldown, but also in addition to that, the item to the left of it starts flying. Uzi's been renamed to SMG. Welding torch redesign. Silver. Oh, interesting. So this is supposed to be like a good combination of like, what's it called? Like armored core now. So this is burn equal to 10% of your shield. So now it's kind of like, you get a bunch of shield and you have like another win condition with like armored core besides Armadillo. Really interesting. Apothecary, gold tier, carry item. Athenor, gold tier, carry item. Black Ice, gold tier, 5 seconds. Freeze 1-2 items for 1 second. Okay. But it'll increase the numbers. Probably trying to be a carry item. Seller upgrades a potion of a lower tier at the start of each day. That's cool. Spawns a catalyst. Cool. Reason to pick up Seller, hold it in your stash. Raven also starts flying now. So same thing it used to be, but now it flies. Crocodile Tears starts at bronze, which is a huge nerf. Not a huge nerf, but a pretty substantial nerf to like the Vial Launcher build right now. So they're changing the cooldown. So it does get better, and the scaling is better at Diamond, so that's cool. Earring, internal cooldown thing. Excavation tools. This was not a 7-second cooldown, by the way. No longer has CDR if you have a quest item. Now spawns a catalyst when purchased. Okay. So excavation tools is just more of a general use good item. It'll be 4 seconds charging a relic, and it gives you a catalyst, so that's cool. Fireclaw, 6 seconds. Starting burn change to 10. Okay. Maybe more of a carry item that's really good at Diamond. I'm not sure. Just probably more of a carry item is the idea. Because it's kind of weird to see it as a silver item. It doesn't fit into a lot of stuff. I guess that maybe that's a better way to put it. Instead of saying carry item for everything, you see this thing as silver. It fits into some builds, but not all. So maybe they're just trying to like reduce fluff like that. Fireflies. Let's see. Burn change. Okay, whatever. The scaling is slightly increased. I still feel like this is ass, but it flies now. It's cool. Fungal spores catalyst. This is trying to be like a carry item. Scales way harder now. Frozen flame. That scaling change is actually insane. Frozen flame might be kind of nuts. Sure, nerf this part, but yeah, this is supposed to be a carry item, I'm sure. Invuln pot. That's a lot better, isn't it? Starts at bronze. Wow, this is nuts. That's assuming you still have the passive where when you fall below half, you use this. This is just insane. You might, if it has that passive, you probably run this on every Mac build, regardless of cooldown. Maybe not. Maybe not like early game, but late game for sure. That's so accessible. Library. Okay. Oh wow, that's a carry item for sure. That's insane. 1.5. I mean, just it reducing it even more is insane. Enables more pendulum things. Super, super broken. Carpet flies now. Macroscope will gain more multi if you have a friend. Pendulum starts at diamond tier. Makes sense. My opinion, most broken item in the game. So nerfing it, reasonable. Plague Glaive, that makes sense. 10 seconds feels a little bit too late in the late game, so 8 seconds might make it more playable. It is nice. It heals a lot too, so it's like it's pretty good once it goes off. It's just hard to get it to go off. Poppy Field is now a carry item, and way better at diamond than gold, but still really good at gold. Quicksilver Catalyst, Rainbow Pot shows a bit earlier, so they're like indirectly nerfing Recycling Bin and Vial Launcher just because like they're adding more potions that start at bronze. So cool. It's also nice for things like Blank Slate. You get this at bronze, you can start freezing earlier, kind of stuff. Potion cooldowns are reduced. Cool. Runic Daggers. Cool. Definitely better if you're trying to do like your crit carpet build now. It'll charge more. Let's see, Great Axe. That's pretty reasonable. So it's like a build defining thing. So if you have carpet, this is kind of your build definer. Gold tier. But now it actually does like it's more likely to go off basically. Santa time. Oof. Cool. Wait, did Life Conduit not get nerfed? Maybe we'll see. Santa time did though. Wow. 7 seconds. Let's see. Chargeability change to the items cooldown is reduced by 1 second from... It was never like that. Is this the wrong tooltip? I don't know. It was... This is what it was before, wasn't it? When you use an adjacent relic, charges 1 second. I'm not sure. Anyways, it's getting nerfed. Show Globe, which I want this to see play. Maybe it will. If you increase the numbers, eventually it keeps playing. Or it sees play. So maybe Show Globe sees play eventually, but it hasn't been amazing. Shrinking Pot to 4 seconds, huge. Rymelx will love that. Spider Mace cooldown. Sunlight Spear is, I think, like a carry item now. So it looks like the carry items are like really good at gold and like double the effect at diamond. That is a carry item now, but 1 second slower. This might be hard to get all the items you need on this thing. Vial Launcher is a carry item now. Alpha is a carry item now. But the poison's increased. Let's see. Null Frost Altar. All items are immune to freeze. Okay, interesting. Okay, so there was an issue where, yeah, internal cooldown if you were super freezing somebody. So now it's just like, if you have this thing, no other thing's getting frozen. Crusher Claws now silver. It means it can't start at Curio. So that's really nice for like, you know, degenerate stuff like that. Cosmic Amulet. This is a Cosmic Rock item. Redesigned. 5 second cooldown. Haste that item for 1, 2, 3 seconds. When you crit, this starts flying. Well, it's flying +1 multi. Really interesting. I think I really see this in like Vanessa. Maybe Stelle, but really cool. Just like you get 1 crit off, and then all of a sudden you have like a multi-haste thing. That's kind of cute. Plumage. 4 second cooldown. Item starts flying, and your flying items gain a bunch of crit for the fight. This could be really, really good on Stelle, maybe. When you crit or use a flying item, charge this. Like, I could really see this being pretty solid on Stelle. Darkstone Engine gets nerfed a little bit. Pretty strong relic. Dragonheart, no charges. Instead of using a dragon or burn effect, it is burn or flying. So you Whelp now starts flying when used. So this might be actually better. So the cooldown is a little longer, but now it can't be hit by slow or freeze as hard. Dragon Wing starts flying when used. Yeah, it's also a little bit changed. I don't really want to get into that. Frozen Bludgeon, I don't even remember what that is. Oh, that's like the mop thing. That like Frosttown or whatever Challenger has. Frost Street Challenger has. 9 seconds cool, and it's a little bit better. Whatever. Harkuvian Launcher. Cooldown to 3. Interesting. Wait, what? Ammo to 1? What, dude? Damage to what? Wait, that's insane, isn't it? Isn't that nuts? That's probably why they nerfed Cannonball. Bro, what? 3-second cooldown. Ammo to 1. Damn, that's crazy. Early game, that's crazy. You just have a super... That's crazy. That might be really, really nuts early game, especially if you have a way to upgrade the ammo. That's insane. Let's see, Bonk. All items, I love that. I loved it. Bonk is one of the best skills in the game. I love to see this thing getting nerfed here. So now, slow items won't get bonked, but fast items will. And it's all items. So it hits you as well. The bonk just got destroyed. But there's some builds that'll love this, but it's not going to be like a catch-all good skill anymore. Cosmic Wind, when you haste, a weapon gains... Okay, interesting. So now this is like way better for weapon builds. So when you haste, you just throw damage around as opposed to like when you crit haste. This is kind of hard to activate. Flashy Pilot, when you use a vehicle, your items gain crit chance. Okay, so that got nerfed a little bit, probably for Stelle. Flashy Reload, gold tier. Now reloads. Okay, so you can't have like an infinite thing with Flashy Reload. Now it's first 3 times. Still fine. Focus Rage, first time you fall below half health each fight, your items gain plus 50% crit chance for the fight. Okay, better than that probably. New max skill, if you have only 1 potion, its cooldown is half plus 1 max ammo. That's cool. Trained, 1 weapon. Trained is dead, awesome. Trained was so broken. Truffleaholic, that's thematic. So, any large item, get truffles, vital renewal. That makes sense. This is like max most broken skill, or one of them. So they're reducing it, making it harder to find, but then also like reducing the numbers. Good. Nice, we have more effects. Sick. Alright, boys. Well, that's all the notes. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you found it helpful. If you did, please drop a like and subscribe. Hard to believe that video was an hour. But yeah, Stelle comes out today. Hope you guys are excited. I know I am. And yeah, again, if you enjoyed, please drop a like and sub. I'll catch you next time. Appreciate you guys. Take care.